Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Wassalatu Wassalamu ala Rasulillah. I'm going to recite from Surah Fatir. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. ألم تر أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها ومن الجبال جدد بيض وحمر مختلف ألوانها وغرابيب سود ومن الناس والدواب والأنعام مختلف ألوانه كذلك إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء إن الله عزيز غفور إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور والذي أوحينا إليك من الكتاب هو الحق مصدقا لما بين يديه إن الله بعباده لخبير بصير ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا فمنهم ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله ذلك هو الفضل الكبير جنات عدن يدخلونها يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير وقالوا الحمد لله الذي أذهب عنا الحزن إن ربنا لغفور شكور الذي أحلنا دار المقامة من فضله لا يمسنا فيها نصب ولا يمسنا فيها لغوب. These are some of the verses I recited from Surah Fatir, particularly from verse number 27 and onwards. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first describes His majesty and beauty and power and design and intelligence in creating this universe and engineering this magnificent machine that we all enjoy. When the water comes down from the heaven in the form of rain and all kinds of fruits starts to grow and plantations and flowers and vegetables, various kinds, they are fed with the same water but they yield different kind of this variety within the unity. Okay, so these are things a believer should not pass it lightly, rather to process it, understand the power of the engineer who has engineered all these things. Okay. Similarly, you will find among the mountains various colors of the rocks: red, black, white. So this variety is something one needs to appreciate. It's not like what the racist said that okay, the variety for the racist becomes a subject of abhorrence, discrimination, hatred, killing, okay, like what the white supremacist does. Rather, the variety should be a subject of coordination, unification, pondering that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created all these variations in plants, in mountains, in animals, within one species you'll find lots of variations. A snake world is hundreds of variations of snakes. A spider, hundreds of variations. Human being, hundreds of variations. Okay, so let us think globally from this perspective, and that's why Allah is inviting us to think. And Allah called them ulama. These are the real scientists who ponder and think about the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and from there they come to a conclusion that yes, indeed there is an Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is an intelligent design, there is an engineer behind this, and that thinking leads them to ask about what is the purpose. You cannot do all these beautiful things for nothing. There is a purpose, and then they reach the details of this purpose by reading the books, by listening to the messengers, and then they will know that yeah, Allah wants from us His ibadah in the form of these. These are the articles of ibadah. You see, these are the logical steps that in so many places the Quran is very much consistent. That you start with the nature, you start with your surrounding, and that kindles in you some kind of a thinking process, and that leads you to a conclusion, and that conclusion is to embrace Islam. The generic Islam, that was the way of life and the submission and the religion that Isa proclaimed, that Musa proclaimed, that Ibrahim proclaimed, that all prophets proclaimed, all messengers proclaimed since Nuh alayhi salam. Okay, that's why in this context Allah said this beautiful statement, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. It's only the ulama, the scientists, they are the one who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because these are the people, these are the guys who thinks among, who doesn't let this the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of rain or plants or mountains or vegetables and all these things, they don't let these things pass by without thinking, without pondering, without questioning. Okay, so Quran is encouraging us for the scientific exploration. People often attribute this method to the Europeans since the time of exploration or enlightenment, or sometimes they attribute it to Francis Bacon or whoever. Okay, but they forget that this is what Allah is asking us in the Quran thousands of years back. Okay, and then you see these verses moves from this nature and universe to the book, which is the Quran, because one complements the other. The journey that starts from pondering on the nature, the place where it ends, the Quran starts to take you as a first step from that point. So it's a continuous journey. That's why Allah said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَن تَبُورَ. You see, those who recite this book and they perform the prayers and they give charity and share their money with the poor and the needy, these are the people who are successful in their trade with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this world is a place of trade. Some people, they lose in their business and trade, and some people wins. And here Allah gives us that the criteria of winning. If you want to win in your business and trade with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these are the ways. You start from the nature, and that leads you to study this book, and studying the book will lead you to know that no, you cannot just stay idle. You have to engage in rituals, and that is the prayer. Rituals that are performed by your body, which is a prayer, and rituals that are performed by money, because a human being is his physical body and his money. This is the summary of a human being. So on each part there are some obligations that Allah wants from us to do in this world, and the leading acts of obligation or worship on our physical body is the salah, or the prayer, and the leading obligation on our monetary possessions is the zakah, or the alms, or the charity that we give to the fuqara. And if a person does this, this is the tijaratan lan tabur. It's a successful, it's a winning, it's a profitable business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because in our worldly terms, people give in the worldly terms, you'll find the profits goes in one digit. Sometimes, if it in very rare times, it will reach 2 digits return, right? 10%, 11%, 12%. But this kind of tijara, this trade, this business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can yield you 700%. Can you imagine this kind of a trade? 700%. Read Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة. Allah gave the analogy of this ear of corn, for example, which from one ear of corn there are 100 في كل سنبلة 100 حبة. There are hundreds of grains of corn. So this is the exponential multiplication factor. And this all depends on the niyyah and the intention and the feelings of the heart, which is while you are doing the ibadah, the more our heart is attached with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of taqwa, doing it in the perfect way, becoming a muhsin. Okay, these are the criteria that makes your tijara multiply, your trade multiply in terms of your profit, and it can reach to double digits, to triple digits, to unlimited amounts, in certain cases, right? Wallahu yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab. And then the verses that I recited described Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as there are variety of plants and people and animals. Within the people who start their journey towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are also various peoples, various grades and categories and ranks. There are those prophets and messengers who are the first in terms of their attachment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the reward that they will get. But there are others who are below them or behind them, until there are those who wrong themselves, but still they are in their journey with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are under the fold of the believers, but they wrong themselves, but then they do return back to Allah, and then they wrong themselves. And these are the category we are in. Nobody can claim from us that we are perfect, right? We do all this kind of sins day and night, but then our comfort is that we follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's footsteps. So we hope that we are within this group, within this highway that leads to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is what Allah said, that this book, the Quran, which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam left among this ummah, we are the inheritors of this book. And there are people who are ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله. Okay, so these are the categories of people. Some of them, they are in the 3rd class, some of them in the 2nd class. So this is highway that accommodates millions and billions of people. So let us not get desperate and leave this highway and join other smaller roads that leads to Jahannam. Let us stay steadfast on this Sirat al-Mustaqim, which we always ask Allah during Surah Al-Fatiha, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. And finally, Allah gave the reward of this category who stay steadfast on the highway, on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. What is their reward after their death? جنات عدن يدخلونها يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير. This is the Jannah with this beautiful description of this Jannah that they will get on the Day of Judgment. And that is the place of comfort, eternal comfort. Whereas this world is the place of working. It's not a place of comfort. Don't expect to stay in comfort in this world and you will stay in comfort in the other world. No. The more we work in this world, the more comfort we'll get in the other world. And that's why the believers, when they enter the Jannah, the first thing they will say, which Allah described in these verses, وَقَالُوا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي أَذْهَبَ عَنَّا الْحَزَنَ. Oh Allah, thanks to Allah, praise be to Allah who has alleviated all our tensions and anxiety and all these troubles and hardship we used to face in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now in this the first footsteps in Jannah is the time when we can rest assured that yes, alhamdulillah, we reached our destination. Before that, everyone is in anxiety and tension. So let us stay fixed on the path towards Jannah, and let the comfort and luxuries and entertainment of this world, let these things don't distract us from the right path, because these are the things like magnet try to distract you. Come to the nightclub, come to the wine, come to this, come to pornography, come to riba, come to interest, usury, okay? Unlimited numbers of trials and tribulation in this world, but we have to stay steadfast on the highway on which there are big names like Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman. These are the glorious names that we will find on this highway. So let us not leave them and go to some other ways where you will find people like Fir'aun or Abu Lahab or this or that, okay? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.